Bernadette. I heard this story long ago. She saw the Queen of Heaven once and kept that vision in her soul. No one believed what she had seen. No one believed what she'd heard, that there were sorrows to be healed, and mercy, mercy in this world. So many hearts I find broke like yours and mine, torn by what we've done and can't undo. I just wanna hold you. Come on, let me hold you, like Bernadette would do. We've been around, we fall, we fly. We mostly fall, we mostly run. And every now and then we'll try to mend the damage that we've done. Tonight, tonight, I just can't rest. I've got this joy here inside my breast, to think that I did not forget that child, that song of Bernadette. And so many hearts I find broke like yours and mine, torn by what we've done and can't undo. I just wanna hold you. Come on, let me hold you, like Bernadette would do. I love that song because it's all about just reaching out and seeing each other for who we are and holding each other as we're moving through it. What a beautiful Sunday morning, and thank you so much for being here. I love all of your beautiful faces. I wanted to let you know that Mr. Bruce Sullivan is on the platform with me this morning. And our beloved Claudia Carawan, our music director, and Lucy Kilpatrick, they are at Unity Village. They've been celebrating at the Posy Awards this weekend, representing Unity of Bon Air. Yeah, I checked in on them a couple times. They're having a great time. Claudia had a song nominated that she collaborated on with Harold Payne. And I submitted a song this year for the first time and received honorable mention. So Unity of Bon Air. Yeah, putting it out there. Well, let's start the day like we always do, confirming what we do believe, that God is good and all is well. And if you want to stand up and just let that spirit and that beautiful energy and song fly out of you, that'll be great. Here we go. Lots of voices this morning. Yeah. Hit that 2 and 4. Thank you, Yemaja. Here we go. What a wonderful morning, beyond compare. I feel God's loving presence everywhere, and I am filled with joy profound in a world where many miracles abound. In the garden of my soul, beautiful voices. You may be seated.
Good morning, Unity.
Do we need to turn the switch on?
It's on. Well, there we go. I was on, I thought. Good morning, Unity.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity of Bon Air, where we live and express unconditional love and grow together in peace and prosperity. My name is Howard Green. I'm one of your board members here at Unity, also on the Fellowship Coffee team, cut the grass sometimes. So do a little everything. Whether this is your first time or your 100th time joining us, either in person or online, we're grateful for your presence and participation as we share in this special time together. We have come together as part of love's divine purpose that calls each of us forth to celebrate the connection we all share through the holy presence within and all around that we call God. In this spirit of community, we unfold in light and love all spiritual gatherings and all people everywhere. We especially welcome any of you who are here for the first time. So if you're here for the first time, if you don't mind raising your hand, we have a packet for you from our ushers. So we have one, folks over here, ladies right there. Thank you for coming. Right here. Here, Tom, and we're behind you. Right here, Tom. Right there, I'm sorry. And as they do that, we'd like to also welcome people who are online and the people who are here. Please join us after the service in Fellowship Coffee. And the folks online, please visit our website for all the activities we have. And before we go any further, let me take a moment to acknowledge all the wonderful people who make this service possible this morning. From those who greeted you at the front door, people here at the sanctuary, people in our music team over here, and then also the sound in the back. So let's give them our unity blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are, and we see you doing amazing things. So let me now welcome my youth and family ministry, Melody Neal.
Good morning. Thank you, Howard. So, good morning, Unity of Bon Air. Today in YFM, we are going to be looking at zeal and enthusiasm. And we're going to learn how to use our power of zeal and enthusiasm through our Harry Potter story. And today we're going to be looking at the Quidditch match, which definitely has lots of zeal and enthusiasm. So if I can have all my young friends come up and join me up here on stage, we'll bless them and then we'll head back. I hate to ask anyone not to be here in the sanctuary to see the wonderful speaker today, but if there is anyone who might want to learn to have a little zeal and a little bit of a dance party, I could use a hand in the nursery, Barbara's going to help me. Thank you, Barbara. So we're good. So if we can get our blessing and we'll head on out.
We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are, and we see you doing amazing things.
The light of God, as the light, 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 as the light of God.
Oh, what a wonderful sight seeing those kids here today. Yeah. So as you know, we have a special event each week of the month, and like first Sunday is the kids. The third is a special activity. We have a heartfelt, soul from the soul conversation. So we're asking Barbara Nunley to come share with us.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Barbie Nunley, and I am a prayer chaplain here. I also am a office volunteer, as well as new member coordinator. I lead meditation and chair yoga. And I just want to tell everybody, because I said I wasn't going to be here this Wednesday for yoga, I'm going to be here. So I want to thank Patty for inviting me to share my story. Ever since I walked through the front doors of Unity of Bon Air, I felt like I was at home. I felt so joyful I wanted to dance down the hallways. And if you know me, sometimes I do. Unity's teachings have transformed my life. Using Unity's principles and practices, I was able to get through a challenging time for me and my family this year. In January, my sister Joanne, who has asthma and emphysema, was hospitalized with COVID. My husband Neil lost consciousness and fell out of his chair, injuring his neck. In February, my brother Matthew was diagnosed with ALS. His 3-year-old granddaughter was diagnosed with autism. And my daughter-in-law was told she had colon cancer. In March, Neil was diagnosed with skin cancer on his ear, and he was told he needed a special procedure. My mother-in-law passed away. And a week later, my friend Barbara, who is my grandkids' other grandma, passed. In April, Neil lost vision in one eye and was admitted to the hospital to rule out a stroke. In June, my friend Franklin passed away, and in August, my friend Beth and Mary passed away. Many people have prayed for me and my family, and I am so grateful. And I prayed too. I prayed the way that Unity taught me. I do not beg or plead. And I start by taking a nice deep breath to calm the body and ease the mind. And I come into the silent, quiet space of my heart center. And here I feel the presence of God, my higher power, universal mind within me. As I tap into my 12 powers, I visualize the good that will come my way. I release all thoughts of lack to open space for the good things to come. And I affirm that God is with me all the time. Everywhere I am, God is. And finally, I give thanks for all that I do have, for all the good things that are coming my way, for Unity, for Unity's people. I am so very grateful. And so it is. So I told you the bad stuff, and now I'm going to tell you the good stuff. My sister recovered from COVID, and she has more good days than bad days. My husband's neck is healed, his vision has returned, the surgery on his ear went well, and he is cancer-free. He didn't have a stroke, although he does have a few cardiac issues. The good news is he's eating a healthy diet, mostly, and he has lost 9 pounds. My brother Matthew is under the care of specialists at Duke University. He is very spiritual with an amazing attitude. If you ask him how he is, his response is, I am happy, healthy, vibrant, powerful, abundant, a spiritual being living in a physical body for a human experience, for expansion, and full expression. He rides his electric scooter around his apartment complex and goes to the park, and he shares his spirituality with everyone he meets. He is amazing. His granddaughter was accepted into 2 programs for autistic children, and she has gone from being nonverbal to talking, expanding her vocabulary every single day. My daughter-in-law's surgery went well. She has received chemo, and she is cancer-free. And I am attending a grief support group here at UBA. I learned that grief never goes away, but is transformed and transmuted into a soft, sweet sorrow that becomes manageable. I have found great comfort in this group. And ending on a very positive note, in May, because of my brother's diagnosis, my family got together for a wonderful reunion here at Unity of Bon Air. And they came from California, Florida, North Carolina, and New York. And it was quite remarkable since some of us haven't seen each other since 1997. And I am grateful for the good things that are happening in my life and the new knowledge Unity has taught me. I have learned that God lives within all of us. We are never alone. We have 12 amazing powers. I learned a new way to pray, and I learned we are created in God's image, and we are divine. I thank you for listening to my story. Namaste.
Barbie, thank you for sharing that heartfelt story. Thank you so much. And now I'll turn it to Julie for our congregational song.
Thank you, Howard. All right, so I understand that we don't have the luxury of this beautiful screen up here today, but that's okay because we only need our voices, right? I'm going to tell you the lyric. We're going to sing a really sweet, beautiful, flowing song this morning called One. The lyric is, we are one mind, we are one heart, one in love and light. We sing that a couple of times, and then there's a call and response. We are one mind, we are one mind. We are one heart, we are one heart, one in love and light. And I think after we get going, we'll all remember that. And as I always say, if spirit moves through you and you sing a different lyric, sing out with great joy. So let's all stand this morning and sing together. Goes like this. We are one mind. We are one heart, one in love and light. Just like that again. We are one mind. We are one heart, one in love and light. We are one mind, good. We are one heart, also beautiful. One in love and light. We are one mind. We are one heart. Together, one in love and light. You sound so gorgeous. Let's do it one more time. We are one mind. We are one heart, one in love and light. We are one mind. Thank you.
Before I do the announcements today, transformational opportunities, I want to introduce our guest speaker. You're in for a real treat. She was with us a year ago, we talked about that earlier, Dr. Yemaja Jubilee. Dr. Yemaja is an inspirational speaker, a poet, author, and songwriter. She's a co-founding director of Cultural Libations. She's a former member of the core management team of Studio W Buzz and a creative consultant. Currently, she's a contributing writer for Own Purpose Women and guest columnist for the Charlotte Gazette, where she's writing on growing up Black in Charlotte County, during the Jim Crow and other relative topics relating to living a full, rich, and happy, holistic life. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Yemaja to our speaker. We're happy to have you. So our transformational opportunities, following the service and fellowship coffee today, we have an active shooter training here in the sanctuary. There's no cost. We hope you'll stay and be with us as we learn. Also, if you're interested in CPR or overdose Narcan training, please let us know. We have a sign-up sheet just outside the sanctuary door on the right, or you can call and talk to Janet Loving-Pitts and call the church office. On Tuesday, Reverend Thelma's back with Science of Mind Study Group at 1 o'clock in the fellowship hall. And on Tuesday evening, Dan O'Neill will join Reverend Valerie Kay for the Fall Equinox Chant Night. They're hosting the event at Unity of Richmond, and it starts at 7 o'clock. This Wednesday, we have midweek meditation at noon, followed by a potluck luncheon. We have a good attendance at that, and if you've ever been, you'll have some nice food, I can tell you. Next Sunday, the Family Constellation with Mo Regulinski. She is a group healing activity, and 100% of the proceeds will benefit Unity of Bonaire. Whether you participate in family constellations before, or if it's your first time, you'll find it to be a very meaningful experience. So join us on September 25th at 12:45. Mark your calendar. On October 1st, we have our pet blessing and plant sale. Along with the pet blessing, we have a fabulous cast of positive pet support with things like animal Reiki, essential oils, and plant medicine, as well as opportunities for support and pet first aid. Our garden team will have a variety of plants too. I saw them yesterday. The garden team was out working on getting those ready for us. So we look forward to seeing you on October 1st. It starts at 11 o'clock. Now I'd like to invite Ed Hayes to the podium here to talk about the new class on prosperity.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Edward Hayes, and I too am a grass cutter, so it's not the reason I'm here. I am happy and proud to announce that we will be presenting a prosperity course, Keys to the Kingdom, starting on October 4th and running 7 weeks through November 15th, 7 o'clock at Rothrock Hall. It will be on Zoom as well. There is a sign-up sheet for anybody who's interested. Prosperity is something that is a big word in Unity. It's something you hear a lot about. And if you look at prosperity, if you look it up, what you're going to see is all this stuff about money, your finances, increasing your wealth and all that. And that's a wonderful thing. But in Unity, that's not really what prosperity is about, or that's not only what prosperity is about. And so this course will be dealing in increasing your finances, but your relationships, your health, your creativity, your career, your self-expression. All of this is considered prosperity, but in my mind, it's not. It is a product of prosperity. What prosperity consciousness is a way that you think. So what we're going to be doing is looking at your beliefs and your thoughts and those patterns and how you can shift them to create a greater life that you have already. And as Karen Drucker says, when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. So that's what this is going to be about. Again, we start on October 4th. Please join me. And if you have any questions, I will be out in the hallway afterwards to answer them. Thank you.
And as always, you can keep up with all activities and opportunities here at Unity by visiting our website and signing up for our e-news, which comes out on Wednesday. And please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And now the daily word. The word today is thoughtful. Today I bring the love and peace of God to all my encounters by being thoughtful. More than politeness and deeper than kindness, thoughtfulness means I consider the comfort and happiness of others equal to my own. My intention is to let those in my life know what they mean to me. I may reach out to someone who needs an encouraging word, letting them know they have what it takes to succeed. I may surprise someone with a kind act, anticipating a need and taking care of something for them before they have to ask. Each thoughtful word and act lets those in my life know how important they are to me and how worthy they are of my time and attention. The scripture today is from Hebrews 13:16. Do not neglect to do good and share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God. The affirmation today, and I'll read it once and ask you to repeat it with me twice. My kind thoughts and deeds are a blessing. Together? My kind thoughts and deeds are a blessing. One more. My kind thoughts and deeds are a blessing. And so it is. Thank you. And now I invite Reverend Patty to come for our opening prayer.
Good morning, my lovelies. Good morning. So, some of you, we're live streaming today, yay, even though we don't have this up here, so we're still in retrograde, and last week we were in Mercury and Unity retrograde, but today we're live streaming, so we're giving thanks for that. So last week when I talked, I asked the question, was there ever a time when you thought in your mind and maybe didn't say it out, like that person is acting like an ass, right? So my joke today is in reference to that. So this is a poem written by Valerie Cox. A woman was waiting in an airport one night with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shop, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. She munched the cookies and watched the clock as that gutsy cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I would blacken his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he would do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, oh, brother, this guy has some nerve and he's also rude. Why, he didn't even show any gratitude. She had never known when she had been so galled and sighed with relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at that thieving ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat. Then she sought her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she gasped with surprise. There was her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned in despair, the other was his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief. Let's see, so let's have a prayer, then I have an announcement too. So let's take a nice breath. And one more, just letting ourselves sink into that well of peace within us. Letting the love that is there wash over us and through us. Simply recognizing that we are here by divine appointment. The divine is ever expressing in, through, and as us. We just allow our hearts to open a little bit more, to continue to fill this room with the power of that love and that grace. Just let ourselves breathe that in. And into this wondrous space of amazing possibilities, of healing, of love, and of light. We bring those in our congregation who are in the healing mode. We bring Tony, we bring Mark, who has now moved to rehab. We bring Frank and Mark are in the same place now. We bring Ann Finelli, who is home, gaining strength. We bring Carol. We bring Captain Tom, who has been missing in action here. He's been watching online. He has knee replacement surgery on Tuesday. And we bring anyone else that's on our hearts and minds. If you would like to say that name out loud or silently to yourself, we bring them into this circle. Jim. And we claim this deep knowing that the desire of love is for wholeness, is for vibrancy, is for life, is for love flowing in and through each one of these people. In and through each one of us, in and through each person in our world. No one is left out. Divine love is like the sun. It's shining, freely given. And all we have to do is allow ourselves to receive it. So we stop for a moment and just allow ourselves to pull up a memory or two of something for which we are thankful, something that is blessing us today, that has blessed us this past week. For the gift of this community and all those present today. We close with our statement that we say together 3 times. I am grateful. Please join with me. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. So I am grateful that Yemaja is here today, and she's brought 2 beautiful women to help sing a song today. So it's Miss Audaciousness herself and 2 helpers. And I want to share, I shared last week, but because we weren't on live stream, I want to share again that we have several things going on inside and outside our building. And if you would like to feel really good, here's your chance to share and give to any of these opportunities. We have an $800 window that's now been ordered for our Montessori school room that is cracked. We have our fire sprinkler system is going to be somewhere around $2,800 to repair. We have 2 dead trees out in the garden that's going to be around $2,200. And our HVAC system in the hallway, we don't know what's wrong with it, so it's just a question mark. But all of these things, we would welcome and support any love offerings. And then if you want to continue to feel really good, I invite you to pray for those we've mentioned today and include them in your prayers, because we never pray alone. When we pray, we're getting prayed up to. So I'll turn it back over to music. Oh, and as Julie stands up, I'm going to invite everybody else to stand up and give her a standing ovation for first entry honorable mention. And her song is going to be available on digital platforms at the end of this week.
So it's gonna release on September 23rd. You can find it on iTunes, Amazon Music, all the digital platforms, and it's called Walking Each Other Home. And that song would have never happened if I had not found my way to Unity many years ago as a young woman. So I'm excited about it. You can sit back down now. I'll take that standing ovation with me all week. Thank you so much. We're going to share a little James Taylor with you right now.
The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. Anyone can do it. There ain't nothing to it. Nobody knows how we got to the top of the hill. But since we're on our way back down, we might as well enjoy the ride. The secret of love is in opening up your heart. It's okay to feel afraid. Just don't let it stand in your way. 'Cause everyone knows that love is the only road. And since we're only here for a while, we might as well show some style. Give us a smile, isn't it a lovely ride? Sliding down and gliding down. Try not to try too hard, just a lovely ride. Now the thing about time is that time isn't really real. It's all from your point of view. How does it feel to you? Einstein said he could never understand it all. Planets spinning through space, that smile upon your face. Welcome to the human race. Isn't it a lovely ride? We're sliding down and gliding down. Try not to try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time.
Thank you.
Elroy Boyd III. Show him some love. Before I get started, I want to thank you all. It's been a year since I've been here, but I'm so honored to be here. Look at all these beautiful faces. You are beloved, you are brilliant, you are bold, you're bodacious. And what I would like to introduce the people that will be helping me out today. Elroy Boyd III will be helping me out today. Show him some love. Thea over this side will be helping me out today. Stan, Thea. Deborah on this side will be helping me out today. And as you came into the door, you were welcomed with a heart. Aranda Young, show some love. I got peace, presence, and power. I got peace, presence, and power. Oh, I got peace, presence, and power. I'm grounded and surrounded in God's love. I got peace. Say it. Presence and power. I got peace. Presence and power. I got peace. Presence and power. I'm grounded and surrounded in God's love. I got trust behind and faith before, love above and love below. I got peace to the right and peace to the left. I'm grounded and surrounded in God's love. I got peace, presence, and power. Peace, presence, and power, y'all. I got peace, presence, and power. I'm grounded and surrounded in God's love. I'm grounded and surrounded in God's love. Breathe. Be. And breathe. Elroy. What I want you to do, I like affirmation, so I want you to repeat after me. And when at the end of this, you're going to say, Ashe, Ashe. And that is African for amen, amen. And you will repeat after me, and Elroy is going to help you out. Okay? And what I want you to say first is, I'm going to do it once, and then you're going to do it behind me. I am rowing in a boat powered by love. Snap, snap. Ashe, ashe. Let's try that. I am rowing in a boat powered by love. Y'all can do better than that. All these people in here, and I'm getting this little faintness. So let's try that again. I'm going to say it, and then you're going to repeat after me. I am rowing in a boat powered by love. Snap, snap. Ashe, ashe. I am sailing in a boat powered by love. Snap, snap. Ashe, ashe. I am cruising on a ship powered by love. Snap, snap. Ashe, ashe. And so it is. Thank you. Row, row, row your boat was a song that I learned in the 5th grade in Galilee School in Charlotte County. The schools were segregated. And we didn't have a whole lot of things that brought us a whole lot of fun. But singing was one of those things that brought us a whole lot of fun. Now, we had to get to school early in the morning. And what I liked about it, the teachers would always make us put our hands down like this. And you had to say, my fingernails are clean. My teeth are clean. I have on clean clothes. And my shoes are shining. She made us do that every day. And she had a ruler that she went down with to make sure those things were true. And if they weren't true, you know what she did? She'd call your parents and say, your child wasn't clean today. So we did that. The teachers cared about you. They made sure that you learned how to write cursively. There were cursive things above the board, that you had a good handwriting. They didn't want to make sure that you knew how to read. And we read with books, the fun with Dick and Jane books, that had no black people in them. But what the teachers did was this. They had bookshelves of things that they were teachers about Booker T. Washington, George, what's the name with the peanut man? Carver. George Washington Carver, thank you. But they would teach us all these things. They took pride in teaching us. We had less of everything. We were in the school with a coal stove that they put coal in every day. But you know what I used to like about it? All the meals were like having a home meal every day for lunch. Because they were prepared for love, with love, and everything was fresh. It was segregated school, y'all. Y'all get what I'm saying? We had less of, but we made the best of less. And the singing was what I liked. I learned my first poem in the 5th grade, Trees by Joyce Kilmer. That's what started me to writing poetry at 16. So that's a gift, and I still write poetry today. One of the songs that we never could get right was row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Y'all know how it goes, right? So I want all of y'all stand, and we have Thea and Deborah that's going to lead y'all in that song.
All right, good morning, everybody. Ready? That's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to do it. So, the first go round, I'm going to say 1, 2, ready, sing. The whole congregation is going to sing one time, then I'm going to point to you. So, okay, make sure you pay attention. So, it's going to be the first group. Row, row, row your boat. Then it's going to be the second group. And then everybody over on that side is going to be the third group, and Miss Deborah over there is going to help us. I think we're going to do it some justice, because we know Yemaja is coming with the word. If you have ever heard her speak, you know she has a powerful and mighty message for us today. Everybody ready? Yes. Okay. 1, 2, ready, sing. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Gently down the stream, merrily, merrily down the stream. Life is merrily, 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 gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. One more time. Row, row, row your boat gently. Wow, give yourselves a hand. That was, and thank you, Deborah, and thank you, Thea. Thank you so much. That was the song that we learned. That was one I could, as I said, I could never get it right. But it wasn't about getting it right. It was about the fun that I had. So there are things in life, there are times in life that you go through things, as I did with segregation, and you're not even aware that it was not the norm. I was not aware that I didn't have enough. I was not aware that the color of my skin kept me in this little box. And we often put people in boxes. We give them labels. We tell them they have to be over here. You're either on the right side or you're on the left side. You're either up front or you're in the back. And we had to ride at the back of the bus in a lot of the time. All the things, you couldn't go to the restrooms because there were signs that said colored. Or you went to, we had a place called Furl's Truck Stop in Williamsburg, Virginia. And I remember wondering why we had to go all the way around to the back to be served. And you know who was cooking the food? Black people. They were doing all the cooking of the food. And I said all that to say this. All of us come into this world the same way. We come through our mother's womb. We came from a sperm and an egg coming together. And you were nestled and you were put inside your mother's belly for over 270 days. All of us did. You didn't come into this world different than me, unless you know something I don't know. But we were in our mother's womb. And we knew when it was time to come out, because God, you were floating around, you were being fed. And I know my mother told me she sang to me when she was carrying me in her womb. And my brother, my mother, what they call mocking a child, she used to hang around the roosters and the chickens. So when my brother came into the world, he used to crow like a rooster. So what goes on in the womb does affect what you come out with. So I said all that to say this.
when it's time for you to come out and make your appearance in the world, the first face you see is what? Your mother. The first thing that you voice, that you hear and you understand is your mother. The first one that tells you how beautiful and bodacious and brilliant you are is who? Your mother. Is who? Your mother. Your mother. But at the same time, when you get ready to make your entrance into the world, all the stuff that you knew before coming in, you have no knowledge of. You were in your mother's womb. You came from God. You were spiritual and you knew the answer to everything. But the minute that you came out and you went, wah, that was the moment that you stepped into the boat. That was the moment when you came into the world with your innocence, not knowing all these things. You got into the boat of life. Say boat of life. Boat of life. Say boat of life. Boat of life. You got into this boat not knowing what's going to happen. Your innocence, and you sail on in the boat. But wait a minute. Let's check this. By the time that you were 5 years old, you've been programmed. You've been domesticated, educated, parent system, ancestral beliefs, government, religiosity, all those things by the time that you're 5 years old. And some say 7. But in between that age, you lose everything. So you get into this boat, and you're sailing along, all gently, all merrily. Then you start bumping into other boats, other people, that is. And what happens is, back a long time ago in ancient Egypt, the Hermetic principles were created. There's 7 principles. We want to talk a little bit about 3. But meanwhile, remember, you've forgotten about this. The law of rhythm, what we call what? Divine flow. Many names for it. Following, go. People tell you to go with the flow. You know what happens when you don't go with the flow? You become sick and insane, and you wonder, and you be cussing out people. I don't know about y'all, but I know how to put my hands on my hip and go zip, zip, zip. I don't do it no more, but I used to do it. And I can laugh at that now. Y'all can laugh with me, right? But in this boat, you get to bumping around in this boat of life. Then you decide, hey, this ain't going right. And where you are, your state of consciousness, you decided that everybody is the fault, not you. You're not able to take responsibility for what's going on. Did y'all hear what I just said? So what happens is this. You become in victim, let us stay there, in victim consciousness. Most of the time for most people, victim consciousness is the first level of consciousness. Now, going back to those schematic principles that are in effect, the law of rhythm, the law of polarity, all of the as above, so below, all of those laws that were made in Egypt are in effect. But you don't forget. You have totally forgotten about everything that you knew, that you learned. So what happens is this. There's cause and effect. That's why you're in the victim mode, because of the principle of cause and effect, because you're going to get a reaction to it. So you keep on playing in your little boat, and then you say, okay, it's time for me to go to the shore. What am I going to get? I'm going to get me some paddles so that I can paddle a little bit more, right? So you get the paddles, you get back in your boat, and you're just paddling life away, but all that stuff is still happening. Relationship, jobs, marriages, external stuff, politically, and everything else is going on. And you say, oh, God, what is this? And this one over here, and they tell you, well, you know what? You're not worth a hill of beans. I've had that told to me a lot of times. That you're not a valuable person. You do not matter on this earthly plane. Why don't you go somewhere and sit down? That's egoic consciousness. You go from victim to egoic consciousness. And in that, all of these principles that we just talked about, cause and effect and flow, you don't do them because you forgot them. So what happens, you back in your boat, Paddles ain't working. So what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna rip it up. You go get a motor. You put a motor on the boat. Well, I'm gonna be faster than this one. And I'm gonna be faster than the other one. And I know I can do this over here. You become competitive instead of cooperating. It produces competition in your mind. And competition separates. You got your ego. You got the victim. All of these laws that we talked about are still in effect. So you put your motor on your boat. You bump into someone. That ain't working either. I'm gonna get me another motor. And I'm gonna be better than. I'm gonna be more than. I'm gonna have more land, more cars, more Facebook notoriety. Let's call a spade a spade. You're gonna have more and everything. You got 2 motors on your boat. And what do you go in? Group consciousness. As we talked about before. Group consciousness is what you get in. And then all of a sudden, what happens is this. All those things we talked about, the labels come into effect. Everything is not working. The separation is in effect. And most of all, what has mattered to me was the color of my skin. It has played a role. Now, I know I'm a woman first, but when people look at me, they see blackness first. And they do these microaggressions, unconscious biases. And if you call on them and ask them what you're doing, they say you're not. So you're in group consciousness. And one of the times that happened to me was I wanted to commit suicide. And I tell you, I lived in Nashville, Tennessee. I rode by the cemetery. And the cemetery was there. I had my little red Chrysler LeBaron car, thought I was cute. I love red, y'all know, okay? And I wanted to commit suicide because I got caught up in that group consciousness, that egoic consciousness, victim consciousness. And it's sad as I think about it right now. But I had someone that helped me through that. So then I decided I had to make a change. And one of the books by Dr. Ernest Holmes, Can We Talk with God? He talks about surrendering. I had to surrender. I had to surrender. And then I had to go back to the banks of the river, and on the bank of the river was a pyramid. And I would like for you all to take the pyramid as your heart. Because the way to move beyond all of this, the way to transmute and have a life that lived in full expression with inclusivity and diversity, is to go through your heart, not through your head. And how do you do that? How do you go through your heart and not through your head? You find support, and what I call SYBD. You sit your butt down. Okay? Sit your butt down and listen. Dr. Michael Beckwith just said that, and I wrote a poem based on that because I liked it. I liked it. And what we have to do is embrace the totality of who we are. We have to embrace our humanness. We have to embrace our spiritual side. How do you do that? You have practices in your life that you learn here at Unity about your 12 powers. You have faith and trust, and you keep moving forward. And what you do then, after all of that, what I do is this. I do forest bathing. I go sit in the woods. I go hug the trees. I go walk barefooted and ground myself. I go pray and look at the water in the ripples. I do a cold shower. If you ever out of sea, get in a cold shower. A cold shower will bring you back to reality, will bring you back to your body. Because a lot of times we're out of our body. And what you do when you take a cold shower, you do a love shower at the same time. You bless your body. You bless the thoughts in your head. You bless the face that you take forward in the world. You bless the ears that you might hear with the ear behind the ear. You bless your totality of yourself. And then you use affirmations, all the things that we've learned here at Unity. You use all of that. We've been taught, but we don't know how to use. So what I'm going to suggest you to do this. Have a buddy. Have an accountability partner that can pull your coattail. My mother called it pulling your coattail. She would pull your coattail if you were out of line. You need somebody sometime to pull your coattail, y'all, to tell you. But they have to tell you in a loving way. And what else you do? If people don't love you up, light you up, and lift you up, you say, bye. Then you don't need them. And after you do that, you get in a sailboat. And the sailboat sails you with love. You sail with love. And after you get in the sailboat, because you surrendered, hey, y'all, it's time for unity consciousness, oneness. You get on the love boat. You get into this love boat, boy, oh boy, you can have a party going on the love boat. Y'all remember that show, Love Boat? How many of y'all remember that show? So what I'm suggesting to you today is this. We have to practice what we preach. Now, we come to unity and they say we accept all races, all colors, all creeds. Well, I'm going to tell you, sometimes they don't live up to that. And I tell you not what somebody told me, I tell you what I have experienced. And when somebody tells me that they use spiritual bypassing, they use gaslighting, I know when somebody's being racist toward me because I went through it. So don't try to tell me that I'm not a racist. And when you hear that, if you hear that, use this as a tipping point so that you can make a change. When someone tells you that, listen to people, all cultures, and what they have brought. We have brought a lot to America that we don't get credit for. And I'm here to tell you, I am here to be a catalyst for change, and I'm here to be the vessel that it comes through, and I'm here to say it. And what made me do that, I became an inclusivity and diversity consultant. I'm working on it still. But I want to leave you with this. Make a difference, no matter. Don't use race to annihilate a race. Don't use all the microaggressions. Do not use words. People know when you're being racist. You can't look them in the eye. You won't sit down beside them. They're seated at the back of the restaurant. That happens to Roy and I all the time. So watch yourself. Check yourself. Say, check yourself. I'm going to check myself. Say it again. You have to check yourself so you can release yourself, so you can be yourself, so you can be on the boat, okay? So you can be on the boat of oneness and in consciousness, the love boat. And you'll be cruising right along. And no matter what rocks it, because you are in divine consciousness, it won't matter. You will accept, you will allow, and you will appreciate what is being brought to you. Everything. In closing, I'd like to say this. The man that had the dream was Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In 1963, he stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and proclaimed, I have a dream that one day that the color of your skin won't matter, but what your character is. That is the beloved community. So I'm asking you to be the beloved community. And I have to tell you, I was there the day when Martin Luther King did that message. I was right there. And I tell you, I was like almost 16 years old. And my father had the foresight to take us there. And I value that moment. Because I was silly running around. Because he didn't like it. He did not allow me as a girl. My brothers could run around. But the girl had to stay close. But that speech impacted my soul. So I'm charging you all today to have a dream. And let that dream be a oneness, one consciousness. Let that dream where you accept. Let that dream where you be inclusive and have diversity and do it from the heart. The oneness that we can have because we all are one. Say it. We all are one. We have many diverse races that have many diverse cultures. You know, I was raised killing hogs, eating pig feet, and all that other kind of stuff. All that, which I learned how to cook soul food. And soul stands for spiritual oneness used for living. Say it. Spiritual oneness used for living. So as you get on this love boat, one by one we can make a difference. One by one we will make a difference. One by one we know in our heart that we have to be the difference. We can't just sit and talk about it anymore. You can't sit and wait for somebody else to do it. I'm passionate about this, as you can see. You can't wait for somebody else to push the button and make change don't come. You have to be the change. You have to do what somebody else won't step up to do. You have to say what somebody else won't say. You have to say, okay, Ashe, it's me, Lord. Standing in the need of prayer, and it's me that's in service to you. Y'all hear what I say? Take what I'm saying, take what you like and leave the rest.
That's right. Go on, sister.
One of the things we have to do is remember that we all are one. And that we all are blessed. And that we all came here the same way. We didn't come different. You didn't fly in Halloween last time I checked.
No, ma'am.
Be who you are. Bring who you are. The oneness. Bring your talents and your gifts and be of service wherever God plants you.
That's right. Go on.
So, with that being said, Bernice King, who's the daughter of Dr. King, has a Twitter line. It's called I Have a Dream. What's yours? I would advise you to go check it out because she's inviting people to put the dream up on her line on Twitter. And the other thing is a song by Pentatonic, which we couldn't show here today. Go look at that. It's called Imagine. They do the Imagine song by John Lennon. And so I want you to remember, and I want you to commit to me. Say, I will make a difference.
I will make a difference.
I will own my voice.
I will own my voice.
I will be what the Almighty wants me to be.
I will be what the Almighty wants me to be.
Take a breath. Breathe. And be. Thank you for listening to me today.
Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul.
And as we go into the flow of that lovely, soft music, I invite you to close your eyes. And I invite you to open your palms and place them on your lap as a way of receiving and as a way of giving. And as you remember that which you are, and as you remember you have to unbecome that which you have been programmed to be, because you're on, imagine the boat has pulled into the dock, and you're boarding the boat, the love boat. And you're taking hands of people and walking on. And you're giving them a hug, greeting them with a smile. And you call everyone beloved. For they are too the beloved of the divine. But you remember in your heart as you step on the board, that boat, and you see all your fellow brothers and sisters, and the boat pulls out. Oh, there's somebody coming because you don't want to leave them behind. You have patience. You don't condemn them. You wait for them and you welcome aboard. You welcome aboard all your brothers and sisters. And once you're on this boat with your brothers and sisters, and the boat is sailing, the love boat is cruising. You are not only cruising, but you're oozing with love. Love above you, love below you, and love all around. As above, so below. And you wrap yourself in this tapestry of love synergies. And you say to yourself, I'm on a different vibration. I changed the channel to another station. And in that change and in that blanket of love, you sit and allow it to cuddle you, hold you, mold you, shape you. And you sit in the silence. And I want you to listen for one word that you heard in the message. See what resonates in your soul as you sit in the silence. One word. Don't try to make it come. Allow spirit to whisper. Allow it to tug at it in your heart chakra. One word. Hold that word in your heart. And you will go out and do it. And you're going to remember, I am a spiritual being, so I sing no victim song. I am living, I am learning, and I know where my soul belongs. Ashe, ashe, and thank you for listening to me today.
Thank you, Yemaja. We are up to the challenge of creating our dreams and creating a world that works for all. So I invite you, as our ushers come forward, to take your offerings in your hand if you have physical ones, or if you're pressing a button, hold it in your mind. And let's say our blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the joy of giving and receiving. And some more wonderful music.
Dr. Yemaja, Jubilee, you have always inspired me, and I thank you for your words today. Yeah, as I was thinking about the music to bring today, the song, What the World Needs Now, kept coming to me, and I'm like, okay, all right, okay. And sometimes I listen to these things, and I realize that it is that invitation, not only to show up in our full presence of divine love, but in the kind of divine love that Yemaja Jubilee is in this world. And so thank you, Spirit, for bringing this song. And if you feel like joining me, please do.
The world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for one, but for everyone. Lord, yes, we thank you for those mountains, all those mountains mountains and hillsides enough to climb, all those oceans and rivers enough to cross. Let us cross them, Lord, with only love in mind. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Oh, not just for some, but for everyone.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll have our love gifts come forward and we will bless them. So it is with grateful hearts that we receive these gifts, that we give these gifts, and we recognize that the law of circulation is at work and everything we pour out into the world comes back to us. So we send these gifts off to be that which makes a difference in our world, which opens up a world that embraces diversity and inclusivity and welcoming of all kinds. And please join with me in saying, I am grateful 3 times. I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful. Thank you all. And now I'd like to invite our prayer chaplains to stand up. So if you have a concern or a joy that you would like someone to stand and be with you in holding the highest and the best, I invite you to pick one of these folks and sit down with them at the end of the service. And let's see. Well, we don't have our saying up there, but for those of you who are here for the first time, we say the service has now ended and our ministry of love continues. So let's do it so everybody can join in. The service is now ended and our ministry of love continues. And then we're going to stand and say our prayer for protection and close with the peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.